Hey everyone, it's Erin from Lady P Collective and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I thought I would talk about stress. So stress, I have a lot of it, just like probably a lot of you guys. And for a really long time, I'd always think of like, oh, well, this will be a stress-free day, or I can't do this because there's too much going on and this is way less stressful on these days, let's just say, for example. And then I realized that there really is no such day without stress. And what I mean by that is that sometimes we choose to overthink things, to stress about things. And sometimes we can't help the stress. It kind of comes out of nowhere. Something happens with our family or with work or just in life and we have no idea. So just that alone kind of brings on stress. And then I think we have the stresses of life. We have the stress we put on ourselves, on other people. And at the end of the day, no matter what situation you're in, there's just stress. And I looked at that as such a negative thing. And two things to this and to the point of this video is one, that not all stress is necessarily negative. And two, like I mentioned earlier, there's not really a time where we're completely stress-free in terms of that's the time that all these things need to be done. So I'll start with that one, the stress-free one. It's just like, again, life happens and we wait for these moments, and I do myself to plan it or do what we've always wanted to do, and then we kind of push them back because we have too much stress, we have too much on our plate. Now, disclaimer to that, yes, if there's a whole bunch of things on your plate and there's less on certain days, then maybe move that over. But I think when we can kind of come to terms, which used to make me really sad, like, God, being an adult, it's stress all the time. You feel it, you feel worried, you feel stressed. It's just like, is this a never-ending cycle? Like, yeah, we have our good moments, and it was just depressing. But I chose to kind of look at it as knowing and accepting that stress is going to be there. I think in a way forces us to really take care of ourselves and the things that are important and people that are important to us. So when I realized and knew stress was always gonna be there, and we all know that rationally, but I thought, well, how can I make the most out of things if it's going to be stressful? What helps stress, right? Getting as much sleep as I can, trying to make time to just breathe, trying to find some moderation with my food choices, reminding myself that there's time to just be goofy and be happy and find things that make me laugh, right? Forcing myself, I have it over here, to hydrate, because this is something I'm not good at, and I always say that. So it kind of forced me to have a healthier lifestyle because I just wasn't having the energy and the mental wherewithal to deal with stress. And there's times in, I know, my life and moments, and sometimes TMI, but monthly things and hormones and changes, especially for women, where you're just gonna feel tired and not yourself. And then that leads to the snowball effect of not feeling good about yourself, not being able to get stuff done, then feeling like you should be able to get stuff done because as women in society, I mean, I can go down a whole rabbit hole of this. So with accepting stress, we can make these lifestyle changes that bring in some of the good. So it's creating those positive habits. So all of a sudden, you know that, like, you save stuff, say, on your phone to make you laugh, or you check in more with friends, or you just find those like 5-10 minutes a day to breathe and do a little like routine to take care of yourself. And then you're feeling more of the energy and you're feeling pretty good. So even on the really stressful days, you are able to handle it more. You're able to not just completely fall apart. And again, we fall apart. We do. We all do. But when we have kind of the positive habits in there. I feel like it's so important, even when we're falling apart on those times, to take care of ourselves. I cannot stress that enough. And when you make it a lifestyle with accepting stress, then you just end up kind of taking care of yourself. And that kind of goes into number two. They go together, is that stress is not always bad, right? Like if we didn't have any stress, then we probably wouldn't have a lot of goals and people that we love and responsibilities and passion and purpose, because the more we get into life and live life and pick up those responsibilities and help ourselves and help people and do all these things, and these dreams that we've always dreamt of, they don't just fall at our feet. It's hard to do. And the more we do those, of course there's going to be more stress. So that's a positive, because you're living your life, you're living your purpose, you're going after things. So it's not all bad. It's kind of like the stress and anxiety. When you care about things and you want things, you need a little bit of that, because if you don't have that, you're not going to have as much motivation, as much inspiration, as much just want to get those things done. And that's all kind of a part of life. So that's kind of what I just wanted to come on and talk about, is stress, because it's something that every single one of us goes through. And I think we just don't know how to deal with it sometimes. And yes, we have the, take care of ourselves and cry it out. And we have all these tools. But I think the main key to this is just accepting that there's stress. I've noticed the more that I don't fight things, which is very hard for me to do, and fight against things, and the more accepting I am, the more I could just go on with my life and not find so much time to think about obsessively about the stress or just worry about it, And I have to watch myself, and you guys probably do too sometimes, because sometimes we just keep busy and productive all the time, so that's considered kind of stress-free. That's not really the point of it. It's just kind of accepting that this is part of life, and that it's not all bad. Just like with almost everything that we love, it's got its good and its bad and its stress. And I think when our mindset, our perspective can get on board with that, we can kind of move with the ebb and flow of life stressors, and we can kind of almost categorize them too. It's another thing I want to talk about really quick, is just, I know I'll stress about the littlest things. A lot of that's due to my anxiety as well, and I'm sure you guys can relate, that people don't even realize, or I'm just being hard on myself. Like those, slowly we can just accept and move forward. And the ones we can't help, we can't help. And it's not as simple as when people are like, well, you can't help it, so you won't feel anything. Like, that's not true. That's not a part of my life. I can't do that. Just because I can't help it doesn't mean that it doesn't affect me. I will still feel it and attempt to move forward, but it's not just as easy as, oh, well, it's out of your hands, so that's that. Like, that's not real. That's not really realistic. It's great advice to give, but it's hard in your own life to do that. But again, just accepting the stress for what it is and kind of categorizing it, and even maybe writing down, like, what are some of the stressors that maybe you can outsource it, like that people can maybe help with, or maybe you could find a solution to that will cut it down a little bit, right? And then again, you have the ones you can't control, but then the ones we can control, we can kind of look at it as like, what's really important. We all know it's not that important, but in the moments it feels like it is. But if we sit down and we have our regular stressors and we kind of have a little bit of a plan for that, and we know we're going to be there, I think that will help with the stress. So that's that on stress. I'd love for you to tell me your thoughts. If you like this, let me know. If you don't, if you want to hear more on it, also subscribe to my YouTube. I have to do this because I always say shameless plug, but you have to. I take time and energy to do these and to create content, so I'm going to put that out there. So yes, subscribe if you want. Let me know what topics. Go check out my podcast and my blogs and my Clothing for a Cause and my new ebook. Subscribe to the newsletter. It's not annoying. It just shows some updates to like the clothing or the blog and just stuff like that. It's pretty simple, but check that out at ladybcollective.com. Again, if you want to collaborate or just talk, or I don't know, if you have any ideas, I'm always open to that. So DM me on Instagram or Facebook, or email me at info@ladybcollective.com. So remember, today is just a day. Give it your all, whatever that is, and tomorrow's a new day. Mine started off really slow, and I'm picking up a little pace, but I'm still trying to find time within my day to restfully get stuff done. That's what I will say about that. So I hope your Monday is going well. And I want to remind you, like always, that you are capable and you are worthy and you are enough just as you are. And we need that reminder, because it's hard to scroll through Instagram or TikTok and not feel sometimes maybe a little left out or different or whatever you may feel. And just a reminder that you're unique and you bring your own talents, and when you focus on that and you focus on your own happiness, it gets better. And that's what I would say about that. So that's it for today, and I will talk to you. It's usually done on Sundays, but obviously I wait till Monday, so it'll probably be next. So Sunday's Mother's Day, so maybe I'll do one on Mother's Day, but that will be probably my topic. Yes, so you will hear from me either Sunday or Monday of next week. All right, take care.